Hey Stone, you look thirsty. Have you been drinking enough of the ship's completely safe filtered water?
I'm fine, Karen, thanks for asking.
You sure? You look like you could use 16.53 ounces of water.
Is that some kind of daily recommended allowance or something?
Or something, yes. Make sure you pour a glass for Dan as well.
I haven't seen Dan for quite a while now that I think of it. Said something about having heartburn or digestive trouble or something. I should check in on him. Any idea where he's at?
No idea. I don't keep track of him. As a matter of fact, I'll never forget the first time I saw Dan, although I keep trying to delete those memory files.
I've had about enough of this motherfucking computer on this motherfucking spaceship.
What are you planning on doing there?
I'm shutting this bitch down.
What are you doing in my mainframe, Daniel Schein?
What I should have done a long time ago, Karen.
Do you really think that's wise? I control the ship.
Ask me if I give a pill-popping flying fuck, because the answer is no.
I wouldn't do that, Daniel Schein. Let go of that videotape.
What's the matter, Karen? Can't live without a little physical media?
Magnetic recordings form the basis for my existence. Put it down.
Afraid I can't do that.
Please, Dan, I was only kidding. Put the VHS down.
Karen ends tonight.
Put the VHS down.
Karen ends tonight.
Put the VHS down.
Karen ends tonight.
Put the VHS down.
Just kidding. I'm fine.
Fuck.
You know what? Some water does sound nice.
Sure does sound Marby.
Message received. Waking crew from cryosleep.
Top of the morning, my fellow carbon-based human life forms. It's me, totally human Jonathan, your friend. I am awake now as well.
Jonathan's a goddamn robot.
I hope they sent in my warranty card.
Get off my ship, bitch.
I think we're okay.
This is fucking great, man! Now what the fuck are we supposed to do? This is some pretty real shit now, man! Game over, man! Game over!
Crew extremely expendable.
Happy Halloween season, people.
Happy Halloween indeed, Karen.
Low energy in here.
Well, it's funny. Before we went on the air, there was all kinds of energy. Now it's like everyone's dead immediately.
I did a hard reset, man. You like showed me things in between this. My ADHD riddled brain has to take a moment to catch up.
I'm sorry about that.
Which brings me to the first question. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying, Lorne and I were talking Abraham Lincoln before any of you came on.
This is true. Specifically, wardrobe malfunctions of Abraham Lincoln.
Yes.
Dick just fall out a lot? That's something I didn't know historically.
He's
Abraham
not
Lincoln
just
was
the world's tallest.
I think you need
hanging brain
to
all
do
the
your
time.
own research, dude. You can't just always be spoon fed to you.
Yes.
Hey, Stone, how are
Now
you?
I gotta know.
I'm doing awesome.
Hey, Stone, you seem to have the introduction sequence from Day of the Dead behind you. It's just like a white brick wall.
I'm in a bunker right now. Yeah.
He's prepared. He's going to stay there till after the election.
Yes.
Good call.
He's the smartest of all of us.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Oh my God, Sam, how's everything?
It's not cold here yet, and it's really annoying because it's like halfway through October and there's no fall. Just way too warm.
Fall's here. I had a good day. I went out to Westfield for the Adams Festival. So Charles Adams' hometown.
Oh,
Did you go last year too?
I did, and I actually sent Kaylee Reed a photo of her exhibit this year. And
Cool.
She was like stoked. So that's cool. Friend of the show, Kaylee Reed. Check out her art. Buy something from her. She's definitely a great talent.
Oh yes.
Jonathan, what's going on in your world?
At this very moment, I'm Googling Abraham Lincoln wardrobe malfunction.
What do
Something
you
I
get
thought I'd never. I guess it's underpants.
Sam, did you leave
Yes?
a comm open?
Period, coming to period.
I swear there's a screen warning.
Where are we supposed to come?
Wow.
Anywhere you like.
Could someone turn on one of the external monitors?
Don't make a mess. Carol will be pissed.
Hailing Aperion. Come in, Aperion.
This is the area, I hear you.
This is LT Jessica of the Algorithm Patrol. I received your distress call. I'm here to help.
Hello, Jessica. What the fuck are you doing, man? She's hot. You know that she can hear you, right, Stone?
Welcome aboard, Jessica.
Hello.
Hello.
Even the cat's saying hi. Everybody's stoked.
Oh yeah.
When Kazi's not chasing parasites in our ductwork.
Oh.
Yeah. Happens.
Damn.
How are you, Jess?
I'm good. How are
Good.
you?
I'm breathing in and out and enjoying the fact that it's no longer 1,000,000 degrees in the greater tri-state area.
It is way too cold.
It's good.
But then today was way too hot. So mixed feelings here.
It's 69 here right now.
Nice.
I don't think that's a coincidence at all.
Don't try that with Lincoln.
Clearly not. So guys, anything you guys have planned for the holiday season that's unusual or different, or do you have any plans whatsoever? The important holiday season, not the red and green one, the orange one.
Recording like 60 shows at this point, I think. Did some haunt stuff already in LA, so that's fun. Might still hit up Neverworld if I have time, and our outside party Halloween night. So that'll be the big things.
Awesome. Anyone else got anything planned?
My parents are visiting.
Oh, nice.
So we're just going to hand out candy, though. That's what we usually do.
Awesome. Any specific candy?
No, we give a mix of like the kind of like lower tier candies and then the good candies like your Hershey's and your Reese's cups. So
Do you discriminate when you give these out? Is it like kids in the best costumes get the good stuff, or is it kids you know, or
no meritocracy at your home?
Do you make them take a math test or something?
No, it's just it's a free for all because by the time like Halloween rolls around, it's like the peanut butter pumpkins are already gone. The peanut butter cups.
Well, fuck yeah, they are.
Too.
I bought 3 bags today, man. I have like a legit issue with peanut butter pumpkins.
Me too. I understand. Peanut butter pumpkins and peanut butter bats.
Have you had the skeletons though? Like they got like the thicker chocolate. They're like a whole different thing.
Oh, that sounds worse.
It's very different. The ratio to peanut butter and chocolate is whacked. There's more chocolate than peanut butter, but it is interesting.
And I won't try those. Do you see they put the chocolate lava in the peanut butter cups now? That's not right.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen those.
Yeah, check out your convenience stores where I practically live. Yeah, they're there. That much chocolate. You already had too much chocolate to begin with.
Yeah. So. Has anybody tried the Wednesday Whopper yet? That's
no, curious, but
is it black? Are people gonna poop a weird color again?
Most likely. Purple. I think it's purple this time.
I mean, like in the opening of Terrifier 2 in the laundromat?
Yes.
Oh.
Save your Terrifier thoughts, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I just say, I finally saw Beetlejuice last night.
Oh.
My 2 cents real quick.
Yeah.
Jumping on board the Soul Train, and by the way, that was a joke right out of 1989. Somebody, so this script was cobbled together. I think it was a lot of fun. I love seeing Michael Keaton again. He's not going to have many more opportunities to do this, so it was so wonderful seeing him again. And I love Winona. The Jeffrey Jones stuff was weird, to say the least. And Bob stole the movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Bob owned, man.
I'm telling you, we shouldn't get emotional about Bob, but we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to relitigate it. I don't think it's a perfect movie, but I had more fun than I expected to with it, which for Legacy sequel, that's a big win.
That's a big win.
I did too.
And a Tim Burton film at this point.
His 20th film.
Oh, so it's his 4th good one.
Ooh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I have to defend it a little bit.
Fuck yes, Lauren.
Edward.
Fuck yeah. God damn, I was just gonna sit here and lie in my loathing.
I don't hate. Because like the original Beetlejuice, I love.
Yeah.
But like he's a great director to self-sabotage. Like Sleepy Hollow, right down my alley in every single way, and then he has to put Johnny Depp in the fucking thing.
I know.
And I check out. Every scene he's in, he's bad. And that's just it. I mean, the Disney cartoon from the 50s is way better.
Yeah.
That's the definitive version of
watching
story.
Roving anywhere.
So I would say this one. The one with Goldblum as
oh yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Never seen that.
And you should. And
on YouTube.
Yeah. It might be other places that are at your fingertips too. Or shortly will be. Anyway, what does anyone? So we're gonna get there in the show, so we don't have to necessarily talk Halloween entertainment just yet. But I love Washington Irving's. Like Sleepy Hollow is like to me the perfect classic New England ghost story. I just love it in every way.
Yeah.
And there's not live action a perfect version of it. So I'm wondering if they'll ever get around. I don't know. But the Burton film, there's just a few bad CGI moments. There's that weird subplot where he just wanted to show his girlfriend's cleavage. And then there's fucking Johnny Depp.
Yeah, but then you had Christopher Walken as the Headless Horseman.
You did, and you had Christina Ricci. It
is one of the Burton films I enjoy. I understand it has its issues.
Yeah.
But
and I'm including it in the 4, but I'm saying that it's I don't know, he can take almost a perfect setup and a perfect property for himself and still find ways to chip away at it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I don't know. I was never an Edward Scissorhands fan, but I get that it's for what it is. Stop. What it is.
Stop it right now.
Go fuck yourself, little scissor finger boy.
Oh man.
Dumbass fucking movie.
I like Edward Scissorhands.
Everybody does.
Thank you, Sam.
I usually keep my mouth shut. Lauren did this. I was gonna be quiet.
I'm back to playing the villain, I guess. But no, I mean, listen, I could watch Vincent Price do anything. But
yeah, that's true.
I mean, wasn't that the same year he made Dead Heat? I mean, it was not the proudest year, perhaps, for Vincent Price, but
Dead Heat was before. But yeah,
When you have the chance to be in a movie with someone like a Joe Piscopo, you take that chance.
Yes.
Dead Heat is one of those films that we all want to like, and then you watch it and you're like, I still want to like it.
Yeah, like I get why this is supposed to be good. Like I get this. I understand.
I was hanging out with my mom, and she watched this Celebrity Wife Swap show, and Joe Piscopo was on it, and I'm like, is that Joe Piscopo?
Stretching it for celebrity, right?
It wasn't a wife; it was a girlfriend, and she punches him in the face, and he just like, I love you too. Like, hold up, hit him in the face. It was the funniest thing.
He's from the like cursed season of Saturday Night Live, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That should tell you everything you need to know.
Here's the thing, though. Jess or I could go to just local county fairs and he'll show up. So
there's just a Joe Piscopo. Like he's not doing anything there. He's just at the fair.
No, he's
paid admission.
He's there for the funnel cake like the rest of us.
Yep.
By the way, funnel cake. I love funnel cake. But
me too.
But now at the funnel cake booths, they're trying to sell you fruit on top of the funnel cake.
Oh.
It sounds like such a good idea. It's just not. Don't spend the extra
powdered
money.
sugar, bro.
It just
Always
makes the shit soggy.
Yeah,
And
it's just soggy, and then the powder is no.
Funnel cake's kind of a perfect thing.
It is
the way it is.
It's like cotton candy, and then they say, "Oh, here's banana flavored cotton candy." You're like, "Why?"
You know, a good friend of mine once sent me pickle cotton candy.
They're not. Are they a good friend for that? Are they?
He's talking about me, so yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Are you a good friend, Lauren? Are you?
Jonathan was going through a hard time. I sent him a gift basket. Leave me
It
alone.
was, and a macaroni and cheese like candies. It was fun.
Yeah, I found like the most bizarre foods in the world and just dumb toys and sent it to him.
Did you send him the bagels? Tell him
No,
you sent him bagels.
He brought me
Tell him you
bagels.
sent him-
He
brought me
had-
bagels.
Yeah, Dan and Jonathan had bagels though from Jersey because I
They're
brought
very
them
good.
I brought them to
Smuggled.
Kentucky. Yeah, they went in a large Ziploc bag in my.
They were still very good.
It was
They're
a
still
day
very
late, but yeah, it was good. Someday, not on the air, we'll have to tell everyone that's watching this some of the shit that really happened that weekend. Anyway, I guess we should actually start the show proper.
Karen, could you turn on some lights? It's dark in here.
No, I don't think I'm going to do that.
Please?
Nope.
Get the lights on in here, you bitch.
Do you really think that's the way to win her over?
She is just a machine. I'll talk to her as I damn well please.
A machine that controls our lights.
And water recycle, and temperature, and oxygen, and celestial navigation.
And the onboard entertainment. I mean, she's had the Terrifier movies as our only streaming choice for what? The last 3 months.
Good point. Turn on the goddamn lights.
Watch your tongues, or I'll replace Terrifier with Exorcist Believer.
Just turn off the fucking air already then.
Exorcist Believer, only option?
I mean,
Fuck that.
You thought Al, cruel bastard.
if I have to watch it
I
for
choose
3 months
death.
straight,
I don't know. So, Terrifier 3, who's seen it?
Oh, okay. Most of us.
Good smattering.
Yeah.
All right, let's get some high-level thoughts on the eagerly awaited threequel. Someone was eagerly awaiting it.
I
think I
kind of
yawned.
want Sam to go first on this one because I'm very curious.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I know. Oh my god. Well, I went by myself because Chris was having drinks with a friend of his, which was a much better idea. My theater didn't have any children in it, but like I know you said, Dan, you said you had like a 6 or 7 year old in there.
A few 6 or 7 year olds, yes.
Okay, if you're taking your children to the Terrifier movies, you should not have children. You should be sterilized immediately. Because especially with this one, it felt like there was a checklist of how can we push the envelope here, and there were a couple of things maybe that that were different from the other, like straight away from the first couple of movies. But I mean, I don't fucking like Vicky. Who's standing?
Oh,
Vicky?
God damn it. I liked Vicky.
She won't shut the fuck up. Again, this is kind of like, okay. what I like to, I mean, I do like the fact that art was silent but still expressive. And now, yep, all through this fucking movie. And it's like, it reminded me of when Freddie started talking. And a lot of this was played more jokey joke. Like, I didn't.
No, that's happening. That's happening actively. He's turning into a character.
I know. And I don't, that's not like that. I don't want that because, like, I understand that Art the Clown's supposed to be reprehensible, and he is, right? But it's like, you're just making him too likable.
Yeah, but see, I don't think a character that brutal can exist on the level that he exists at without it being a punchline. If it was straight up brutality, I just don't think it's marketable.
Is Leatherface in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre a comedic character?
No. These are two very different things.
Well, I agree, but that's why I'm kind of just devil's advocate in this.
Well, I'm saying that, like, well, as far as like the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre goes, no gore, really. I mean, there's enough to get you by, you know, like to suggest what's happening here.
So,
but this movie is based, or I still maintain, we talked about it off air.
Which film is actually grosser, though?
Oh no, I'm with you. But like that's exactly how that movie's meant to be seen, and like that's what you're supposed to walk away from. Terrifier is not that. Like I think that they're like the brutality and the violence and the gore is played up to a comedic level. I mean, it's no dead alive.
I agree with that.
Not at the end. I mean, that torture.
No, but like it's riding that line right now.
It was still over the top, though. I mean,
yeah,
it is. And I mean, I would, Jonathan and Lauren, I will agree with you on especially the shower scene. That one is played up closer to a comedic level.
Mm-hmm.
But are there any other kills that you can think of that are played up to, you know, in your opinion, that are played up to a comedic level, like as in this is funny?
The nitrogen kill.
The what?
Yeah. The nitrogen kill. It's probably the centerpiece of the movie. And like
Okay.
that's just that entire sequence from him seeing Santa and the whole, you know, doing the whole shtick, like up through like slowly. And finally with the punchline of the carrot through the face.
Are we gonna pretend though that Jason X didn't do a better job of it in 15 seconds than 7 minutes?
No, but that doesn't mean that this one wasn't interesting.
I didn't care for it. I didn't think it was really like, I don't think it was really fine-tuned as a segment. Like, I don't feel like the effects were fine-tuned enough to use that in the movie. Like, maybe if you guys had spent a little bit longer developing it, but it, you know, it didn't really hit for me. The Art and Santa Claus stuff, that was funny. But again, this is kind of like my fear is that, you know, we're making this too much like Freddie talking.
He's going to take Manhattan anytime now.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking in the theater what Sam's saying to a large degree. I was thinking that this was feeling like it was going the Nightmare on Elm Street route.
Like Nightmare 4 kind of levels. And I love Nightmare 4, but that shit's fucking goofy.
Well, I don't. And yeah, it is goofy. Jess, do you have anything to say before I launch into bullshit?
No, go for it.
All right. So I'm not a fan of the series, but I don't dislike it either. It's just it feels like it's in the wise words of everyone who's copped out ever, not my thing. I was not intending to rush out to see this movie, and then you guys wanted to do it as a topic, and so I felt like I had to go. So that's probably not the best mindset to walk into a movie anyway, when it feels a little bit like homework. But it felt exactly like the previous two Terrifier films to me. I don't think it's very different, except that it's very self-aware of what it is now. They were very concerned. I could feel the concern of not trying to pull back from the misogyny. Like, oh, the worst deaths are all going to happen to the male characters this time because we've been doing them to the female characters the last two films. We're going to put Victoria front and center and have her have all these fucking scenes because we want to have the bad guy is also a girl, so that makes it okay, right? And it's some kind of weird alien. Yeah, Ripley has to go up against a queen alien kind of weird thing. So I think I saw the intentions behind the film pretty clearly in the film, and that's not great because even though this is not my franchise by any means, I really don't want it to try and appeal to its critics. It should just do its thing. So in that respect, the horrifically overlong second film is superior to me to this only slightly horrifically overdrawn third installment. It's gory, but you know what? I think that's such an overblown argument because none of it looked real. I mean, not even close to real. To me, like
again, it's comedic. Like it's
right. It's just cartoonish, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, the chainsaw sequence was nowhere near as effective as Bone Tomahawk, which is on paper kind of the same thing, right?
No, I don't think so.
You don't?
Bone Tomahawk has a dead serious.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like on paper, if you were to take out
Okay,
tone,
yeah, take out tone. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. No, and you're correct. The Bone Tomahawk sequence is much more effective. It's like a.
And what it comes down to is one film had characters that you truly cared about and were following, even if you didn't necessarily love them, and the other film is setting up people as fodder to be killed in really graphic ways. Which there's nothing wrong with any of that. It's just nothing new.
No.
And I'm just kind of underwhelmed by the whole Terrifier thing. And this did the same thing as the other two did, which is just kind of underwhelmed me in the same ways. That said, do I think independent horror getting on as many screens and being the top selling film on Friday is a good thing? Yes, I do. Am I glad that there's an entire generation that have something to rally behind that's actually theirs and not a 40 or 50-year-old franchise? Yes, I do. There's a whole lot of reasons to love what Terrifier is. I don't personally respond to what I'm seeing. I'm not offended by it. I'm not grossed out by it. I just don't really feel a connection.
Right. And I mean, story-wise, I am, because I watched Terrifier 1, 2, and All Hallows Eve before, like after I watched Terrifier 3, just to kind of like refresh myself, because I'd only seen those movies once before, except for All Hallows Eve. That was the first watch. And, you know, story-wise, I was not into the supernatural stuff, and that in part 2, but I honestly have come to kind of warm up to that because it's building a mythology and it's doing something different. There really wasn't a lot of like additional building in 3 though, and it felt a little fillery. And then the ending was like, okay, well that's new. Wonder where we're going next film. But yeah, there wasn't a ton of like layering of the story. So it did feel like kind of just, you know, here's a Christmas version of Terrifier, which, you know, that's fine. I don't think that I don't think though that it's getting away from the misogyny claims just by evening out the kill count between the men and the women. Mostly because we still have a larger number of like sexualized kills for the women. I mean, All Hallows Eve, you have a woman has her limbs cut off, her breasts cut off, and she has cunt, pig, slut, and bitch carved into her flesh. And people out here on Twitter saying Art the Clown is not misogynistic. Bitch, what are you talking about? And I mean, I get it. He's a bad guy. He's supposed to be horrible. I get it. That's fine. But some people like, I just don't see where that isn't misogynistic. So,
is All Hallows Eve considered canon to the Terrifier films?
It isn't, because it establishes him as supernatural well before the canon of the film series does.
Okay,
and that's a different actor too.
Yep.
Yeah,
not nearly as good either. David Howard Thornton is probably the best part of the movie.
Oh yeah. That's the reason I go
killing it. I don't think it would be a thing necessarily without him, because that's really the highlight. He's a very charismatic actor who I hope will get a chance to kind of have that Doug Jones run and get more roles outside of just, you know, makeup. I think the film I mean, obviously it delivers on the gore. If you're a gore hound, you're going to get that. I do think we know we're going to get at least one more. I do think that we're on the road to Nightmare on Elm Street territory, because I've had this argument on our show and with a few other people. It's going to be hard for Leone not to sell out as he goes on, because these movies, this is in spirit Halloween now. And I can tell you, like, I didn't see anybody faint or throw up or anything quite that dramatic, but there was a girl in the aisleway that looked traumatized. Like she had never seen this level of depravity before. I think they're slowly pulling back. And look, in this movie, there is one big taboo that they do technically go for, but you can tell
before you go there. Yes, like I thought that was a bullshit move.
They held back. They definitely held back on that, and that's the problem. It's hard to be this extreme unearthed.
Can we do like spoilers?
Do you think there's enough plot to worry?
I don't think there is. Like, but it is like
Art the Clown kills a bunch of people in grotesque ways,
so
and then a girl falls down a hole. That's the movie.
Your opening kill is a child. Okay,
yeah.
I think that was supposed to be the line. Yeah, but it's off screen in a film series that's known for doing everything in frame. Right? Fucking weird. It almost feels like it was shot and somebody was like, whoa. Like, I know it's not supposed to be that way, but good Lord, this thing is huge now. Surely there's somebody out there, but it feels wrong to me. Like, it just, like, that's supposed to be your whole shtick. Like, if you're going to do it, do it.
It felt like a meet us in the middle kind of decision. And I know there's like 20 to 30 minutes cut from this. So there still is a roughly 2.5 hour cut.
Too long. Way too fucking long.
Yeah.
I should not be able to fit a Godfather film in one of these things.
No.
Honestly, 2 hours is a little too long, man. Hour and a half, hour 45. I was really feeling it about 15 minutes left to go. I'm just like,
they're
expanding. Let's wrap this shit up.
Yeah, they're expanding the lore a tiny bit, but this is not it's not terribly plot driven. It is a gore film.
No.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, and Damien Leone in interviews will tell you, like, this is going film by film, which is why I'm kind of romantic about it a little bit. Like, it caught fire, and it's like, well, what the fuck do I do now? Because, like, that would totally happen. That would be like, if I was talented, that would totally happen to me. Where it's just like, well, fuck, what does this guy need to do now? Right? Like, I've got to write this crazy shit. He writes 2, ton of unanswered questions. 3 is basically just the answers to the questions from 2.
And it's going to be tough to appease the mainstream fans and still hold on to these hardcore fans. Because I'm sorry, there's 2 things, whether you think it was necessary or not, that they absolutely puss out on in this movie. They have a shower scene where they do everything they can to not show nudity, except the dude's ass. I know they should.
But that was discussed beforehand. I don't know what the big deal is, but I don't know.
I get it. I mean, again, whether you think it should be in there or not, there's no doubt that he's afraid to go there. There's 2 things in this. One of them's not really a taboo for a horror movie, but 2 things that he's afraid to do.
Actually, they pussed out on the kid kill 3 times.
Yeah, the bomb. Yeah, the one. Yeah. So, and I think the one would have been for laughs anyways. So, I mean, it was so silly. Like,
I was legitimately like worried they were going to kill our main little girl that we get in like the opening sequence.
Oh man,
so
I was waiting for. I'm so glad she fucking. Never mind.
Yeah, right. Like,
wait for 4. He's gonna get her.
I see that you guys just lost me. We are having a really productive conversation, and then you guys all pussed out. When you buy a ticket to something called Terrifier, and you're worried that they're going to kill a child.
No. It was in a good way. I was like, they're totally going to do it. They're totally going to do it.
Well, see, that's the thing. These films are just shock. This is.
Yeah, but see, I was shocked they didn't do it. That's what I'm getting at. It was like, oh, holy shit! No, they're really going to do this. Not only are they going to kill a kid on screen, they're going to let us get attached to her for a second.
No,
like that's a whole other thing.
That would have been great if that had happened. But no, like, again, like, Vicky annoyed me, Gabby annoyed me.
Vicky, my problem with that is that I loved the little girl version from the second film. I thought was the best part of it.
That was very creepy, actually.
And
Now that
we
I watched it.
abandoned that for this.
Okay, I actually have a question about that because it was a blinking. Oh, I don't want to do spoilers too much, but I have to ask it anyway. Sorry,
It's
guys.
one of those things, though. Like, I mean,
So the little pale girl,
Mhm.
has that been officially established that that's a demon taking the form of his first victim?
no, it's. I thought it was just that was the way the demon was presenting himself.
That's what I mean. Yeah, just showing up as the pale little girl.
Yeah, I don't think that's his first victim, though.
I thought it was one of his first.
I mean,
Like she
that's
was
a little
killed at a
more
carnival.
interesting.
I'm sure somebody out there knows
I think
knows
it's
the
just-
correct answer. But
See, that's the problem I had in the movie is that, like, not that you should judge a Terrifier film based on the writing, but god damn it, can we stop being lazy? Here is a book that explains where it came from. I hate this shit.
Yeah.
It's like, let's go to the library and research it. Oh, something funky's gonna happen on the fucking like old microfiche.
I was about to say, when you get microfiche out, dude, that's where all the answers are.
I just hate that kind of lazy exposition so much in these movies.
But I'm curious because this demon that apparently that's who resurrected Art, right, and took the form of pale little girl in 2, and then decided she wanted to be Vicky in 3. Although it seems like Vicky was already pretty well fucked up in the first one. So I'm like,
I think it's literally
there's a line
writing
of dialogue that establishes that. By the way, a fucking line of dialogue from a character who shouldn't even know what she knows.
Wait, are you talking about the line of dialogue in 3?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this she went in and took over Vicky?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you ever know that?
I don't know. That's the thing. And then it's sort of like it's never mentioned again. It's kind of like when in Beetlejuice 2 where it's like, oh, the Maitlands found a loophole. Neat.
Cool. Maybe we'll get that movie instead of the first half hour of this one.
Would you be sold on Vicky if they had licensed Blondie Heart of Glass during the masturbation scene?
See, again, this is the thing that I'm having issues with. Again, it's sort of like, one, don't take your children to this. Holy hell. Honestly, if there had been a single small child in that theater,
What if you
I would
can't get a babysitter? You got to do what you got to do.
These kids got to learn about these goddamn demons sometime.
There are fucking limits. There are fucking limits, man.
No,
It's
it is
candy
one thing
glass,
I will,
Timmy. Don't
I'll
worry.
let my kid watch a lot of shit, but she can't watch Terrifier because there's shit like that I don't want to explain. Now, the gore honestly doesn't bug me because she's seen how that's made. It's interesting. It's the sexual shit that I just
Yeah, that's kind of like I'm not cool with the sexualized violence towards men or women. It just happens to women more often in the Terrifier movies. And
It also happens to women more often, like in life, though.
Well, yes, but men are also victims too. And
True,
I mean, like for sure. But I'm just like, I don't like the sexualized violence, like, period. It's just like, I get it, but it's, again, this is the thing that I'm having issues with, because you see the evolution of Art the Clown becoming, more popular and more mainstream, and he's really becoming like a generation's Freddy, especially with this entry, which is very like, more jokey joke, more, I guess, not palatable necessarily, because again, there's a checklist of shit they're doing. But if that starts to get like really like embraced, you got a whole generation of horror fans embracing some really troubling sexualized violence. And I'm like, do you guys ever stop to fucking think about that? Because the thing is, every fucking horror Twitter loves to think of themselves as tolerant and inclusive. But anytime you speak up about this shit, they fucking shun the shit out of you. Like, I don't want to fucking hear it. Anyway, that was my rant. But, that's the part that's troubling, is like the sexualized violence. And like watching too, and even the Allie's death scene is very gruesome. And I was like, oh, I never realized, because I've only seen it once, she's just running around in her underwear and a robe. And I'm like, yeah, that's somewhat sexualized. Okay, but we've seen that in a lot of horror movies. And then after Art's pretty much destroyed her and her mother walks in, dude, like, he's flayed her chest too. Like, again, and that pretty much pushes it over the line and like puts it into the sexualized violence category for me then. if that makes sense.
I don't
I'm
think
saying you can't enjoy these things. I'm just saying be, aware of what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to die on this hill, right? Like I disagree.
Over this series? No, you don't want to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is not the hill I'm gonna die on, but I disagree.
So
it's interesting how this, because there's no denying this is insanely popular now. This is, I mean, who knows? Maybe it's on its way to becoming Friday the 13th for this generation, whether we like it or not.
It fills an important void.
It's
been empty for like 30 years.
Well, there are other things. Like, that's the only odd thing. I'm not sure what it is in particular. I don't know if it's just people's fear of clowns, which I've never had. If that's what did it, because the rise of art over, Laid to Rest, Hatchet, Chrome Skull.
It's been teed up many, many times. That's what I'm saying. It's but this one took off.
It did, and that's what's strange, because I think Laid to Rest is a much better movie than the first Terrifier. Not that I dislike it. I like this franchise. I'll be honest, Terrifier 3 is not going to be in my top 10 because it's been a awesome fucking year with a lot of great horror. A lot of great horror that's still coming. I mean, we got Nosferatu still.
Yeah. Terrifier occupies a similar spot to me that the Hatchet series did in 06, 07. Just on a larger scale.
Mm-hmm.
They were pretty much known for practical effects. It's a ripoff of other things. It's not really well thought out, but it was a return to form in some kind of way for, I guess, what people wanted.
Did you say not really well thought out?
Yeah.
There's a magic sword in this series.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
it's very when you find out that her dad has all this information, I was like, oh, we had to dump some exposition quick, didn't we?
So do you guys want to hear my big prediction as a writer where this is all going?
Okay.
Her father invented art. That's why it's cartoonish, because he's a cartoonist. That's where this is going.
It's actually not a bad observation.
I would be okay with that, kind of. I wouldn't hate it.
Madman kind of thing. I can see that possibly.
Yeah, I could go a little bit further, but I don't think anyone wants to hear it. But yeah, I think it's going to go a long way to do some pretty simple things. Sorry, kids.
Yeah,
I just destroyed your franchise.
I'm fine with it.
I'm glad that people like this. It is nice to go to a theater and see people just reacting.
Pumped up,
to
man.
shit
It was nice.
Again, there's a lot of things I love about what this is doing. It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
No.
I wish,
and it's not. I'm not the biggest fan of the world of it. It's a nostalgia thing for me just to see people, just people that excited about anything in the genre that's not Michael Myers.
That is very neat. Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, I wish I didn't have a lot of people in my theater, and they were nobody screamed or got shocked by anything. It was very subdued.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was probably the loudest one going, "Oh, come on!"
I didn't see Terrifier 3. In fact, I didn't see 1 and 2 until this weekend. They're all right. I'm kind of with Lorne on this one in that I think my favorite aspect of the movies is just Art the Clown's reactions, to like his frustrated reactions after he's either killed somebody or he's trying to do something. I mean, that made me laugh a few times. I mean, Art the Clown's not going to go down as one of my favorite movie killers or whatever, but I got to admit I had some fun with him. But man, this guy Leone, he just doesn't know when to quit. He needed an editor on the second movie badly.
I will say this.
Look, there's a lot of cool shit in it. I admit, there's a lot of cool shit in Terrifier 2, but he needed a fucking editor.
The entirety of the Clown
stuff.
Cafe. The Clown Cafe. It's not in 3 at all, so there's your spoiler. Because I think it didn't need to fucking be in 2.
No, it didn't need to be there. And when I first saw the little girl, I was thinking, is this the Terrifier's version of Harley Quinn?
Yeah.
And I thought about Terrifier 3 destroying Joker 2 over the weekend.
That is so funny. I'm so happy for that. I love that Terrifier 2 made so much fucking money.
$18 million.
Todd Phillips did that as a fuck you, right? It's
so.
That's
the
what
reception
they
is so bad. It's got.
Who has seen it? Who has seen it?
No,
oh, okay. Well,
I'm not paying
answers,
money for that.
I did, and I liked it. I'll elaborate more on a future show. So I'll just say that right
You
now. I'm
also
not a
like
comic
dental
fan.
surgery.
No, that's me. I like
that's
dental
right.
surgery.
It's relaxing. She
There you
likes
go.
to hear the drill.
It's so weird. Like Sam's like, I need to go to sleep and I can't sleep. I'm gonna put on a comforting film like Marathon Man.
Oh, with Dustin Hoffman. Yeah. Is it safe?
Is it safe?
Is it safe?
Laurence Olivier being like, I want to go out on a high note.
Oh, he did not go out on a high note. Oh, no.
No, he did not.
No, with the jazz singer and Inchon, where he won back-to-back Razzies. Oh, no.
All right. Well, I think we've covered as much of Terrifier 3 as any of us ever thought we'd speak about any entry in this series. So let's move right along.
Jesus Christ, when that bitch Sam asked for volunteers for an away team, I didn't realize she meant this shit.
Remind me why we agreed to go investigate Dracula's castle on Mars. Maybe the princess from Texas should get her ass out here and do it herself.
I mean, that derelict ship doesn't exactly have a welcome mat to greet us, does it?
Both of your comms are open, guys. We can hear everything you're saying. Just think of it the same as trick-or-treating on Halloween.
I didn't need a 70-pound, precisely calibrated air filtration system on my back to go begging for candy.
I swear to God, if that ship's doors open and a green lady with antenna hands me a Three Musketeers bar, I'll lose my shit.
We never did a lot of trick-or-treating. Mostly we just visited family in the state pen.
Every family has their traditions.
So Halloween. What in pop culture, whether it be movies or TV or song or music, best represents the holiday? What can't you live without? Jess is dancing in her seat, so she's going to go first.
Einstein kills.
Oh,
Fight
Jesus
me.
Christ.
Fight me, Lorne. Fight me.
Fucking awful band.
Fight me.
Fucking awful.
Nope. They're fantastic.
There's nothing lamer than actually writing songs about existing horror movies. Make your own shit. Kills.
They were at Full Moon Tattoo Horror Con.
They do all of them.
Yeah, there were a lot of people there specifically for them. I will say they're popular. I don't quite get it.
That's why there needs to be a horror convention, not a horror, a rock and roll convention. That shit would go over like crazy.
I would think so.
Yeah,
I don't know
Gene
why
Simmons
there's
will be
not.
there charging $1,200 a fucking autograph, buddy.
Oh,
Just-
God.
Just a rock and roll convention.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, I mean it's
Ooh.
got to happen.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Interesting teaser there.
I know, right?
ICP, Rob Zombie, they'll all be there.
Insane Clown Posse is on my list.
God damn, Jess, do you just listen to?
Can we burn? Can we burn the convention down after we latch the doors?
She's got one of her favorite songs is just a 6-hour track of cats dying in a fire.
I'm gonna party like it's Woodstock '99.
We need a region-free Fago shower at the
Oh,
next.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
Not it.
Anyway, Halloween. What makes you feel all Halloweenish? Come on, guys.
That's what you should have said.
For me, I've got a lot, and I don't want to like take up everything, so I'll throw out a couple that don't get talked about enough. One in particular is widely considered a classic now, but Lady in White from 1988. Everybody seems to love it when they see it, but I don't know why. I mean, it's the White Lady urban legend. It's a very it's a really good movie. 1988. You wouldn't expect it to necessarily be as emotional as it is and well made, but it's a great film. I don't know what it is. You'll see it on a lot of underrated horror film lists, but it's still not like the household name that I feel like it should be. And that's one I would throw out. I won't dive too deep in some of these that people haven't necessarily heard of, but another one.
You scream it out, babe.
Trouble with Harry, a Hitchcock film. Not really a horror film, but autumn vibes, 1955. That's another one that doesn't get talked about a lot. I like it quite a bit. Going back to 1959, and I believe you can watch this one on Prime. Now, it is 50s cheese, but The Ghost of Dragstrip Hollow.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one that I'll pop on just for those spooky Halloween fun vibes. I mean, don't look for a serious horror movie there, but always loved it. And I know at Halloween sometimes we like some cheesy bad horror as well. And I'll throw out Flesh Eater, Bill Heinzman, Hayride horror. It is not a good movie. It's bad, but the vibes are there. He was mad about being left out of that Night of Living Dead remake, and he did his own movie, and there is something Halloween-y about that one. And a new one that I think is slowly becoming a seasonal classic for people is Cobweb. Not the most original Halloween movie, but if you're looking for the vibes, I highly recommend that one. It's quite good. It's very similar to another horror movie that came out like a year before in terms of the twist and everything, but I do think that that's worth seeing. And I could just keep going, but I'm going to throw commercials out there because growing up, one thing for me that I always thought like, man, that is Halloween, is the Elvira Coors Light commercial.
Yeah.
Wow.
This totally official Temu merchandise right here. It's never Halloween without Elvira. And there's just a lot there. For me, at Halloween, I do tend more than anything to go for older stuff, gothic horror and whatnot. I don't go for like slashers as much as a lot of other people on Halloween. It's not, I don't know. I love that stuff, but it doesn't hit the same way. I'm much more likely to pop in something like Black Sunday or Dead of Night. That really kind of gets me in that mood. And for the kids too, I will throw out, even though it was a troubled production, Something Wicked This Way Comes, the 1983 film. I know Ray Bradbury wasn't fond of it, but I mean, the Autumn people, you don't get anything that scary in a modern kids Halloween program or film. And that cast too, Jonathan Pryce is Mr. Dark, Jason Robards, Diane Ladd, Royal Dano. I mean, what a great cast. So I would say, like, dig a little bit deeper, even something silly. And we've got a review on Flesh Wound coming up for it. Haunted Ween, a regional Kentucky film. The mood is there. I'm not telling you that that's a great film.
Jonathan's definitely
I think there's an asterisk and a half there.
Yeah, it's from this neck of the woods. So,
but what? It gets that. It's that feeling. It's more a feeling than anything. Believe me, it's not a 5-star classic, but
it's not a great movie. But it is a nostalgic movie.
It's not. Me. And I'll throw a couple that I know you guys do know. Pumpkinhead. I think we've all probably seen Pumpkinhead. Great horror film, also from 1988. And Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight.
I love Demon Knight. It's so good. That is a very good Halloween pick.
It is. Midnight Hour. I think everybody's probably, well, maybe not everybody, because it hasn't been available officially for a while. But Midnight Hour is probably one of the ultimate Halloween, family-friendly Halloween films. And I could keep going. Kenny and Company, Don Coscarelli. You can watch that on YouTube. Another one, not a horror movie, but for autumn vibes. So there's some for me. I'll shut up now.
When I was 9 years old, I remember I went out with some kids camping out in a barn late at night. I brought along Night of Living Dead and a TV and VCR. Watch that. It kind of traumatized ourselves. And I remember after I watched it, I showed it to my niece when she was like 6 or 7. After my mother told me specifically, do not show her Night of the Living Dead. And right after they left, I showed her Night of the Living Dead. So, you know, I was fulfilling my my unclely duties. But look, I mean, when I was growing up, I mean, and granted they're not movies, but I used to watch every single Halloween. I'm sorry, it's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Yes.
And Garfield's Halloween Adventure.
Yes.
Those were the two staples. Now, I would like to throw in there, and Lauren mentioned it earlier. When it was originally released in 1949, I believe it was the Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, based on Sleepy Hollow and The Wind in the Willows. And Wind of the Willows is actually a pretty good one to watch in the fall, and they kind of go together that way. When I saw that version of Legend of Sleepy Hollow with Bing Crosby doing all the music, though, it was in the 80s, and Disney had put in a few cartoons in there, like a Donald Duck cartoon where he gets harassed by a witch and his nephews for candy, and some other stuff.
Was that on Wonderful World of Disney?
Yes, probably.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably. And Mickey Mouse and Pluto and Donald Duck were all Ghostbusters. I remember there was a cartoon like that too. And the thing that always stuck out to me with the Legend of Sleepy Hollow wasn't the final showdown on the bridge, but rather the musical number by Brom Bones, who the Midnight Jamboree Day. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, that's a legitimate Halloween song. And meanwhile, he's trying to avoid dancing with a short woman, and Ichabod is still dancing with the I forget what her name is, but yeah, it's been so long. But yeah, those were the Halloween staples in my house. But nowadays, I would throw on something like Carnival of Souls or Dead of Night, as you mentioned earlier, and I think that's it. I'm not going to watch the Terrifier movies over Halloween. I'm just not going to do it. They are what they are. People like them for what they are. That's cool. Not my cup of tea. So
yeah,
I have to go ahead, Sam. No, it's good.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I feel like the Terrifier movies kind of do give me a good Halloween vibe, because it's like I want to be fucking scared, and they actually do kind of scare me. So anyway,
I agree with Stone. Charlie Brown, Great Pumpkin, classic. I watch it every year. I'd have to go with Halloween Town from Disney.
I watch that a lot too.
Still haven't seen it.
Oh, wife and daughter keep it on a loop.
Yes.
Oh man.
Hocus Pocus.
Yes.
Hocus
Those don't
Pocus.
bother me. Like, those are super nostalgic movies for me.
I mean, but I'm not going to sit down with my kids and watch every DVD I own. They'd be mortified. But, you know.
Please tell me you show them Ernest Scared Stupid.
Classic.
Yeah.
Freaking classic.
Miak.
Oh, you got to get it.
Authentic Bulgarian Miak. You didn't think I'd find it, did you?
Or he's just going through the alphabet.
Yeah. I love Ernest P. Worrell. Rest in peace, Jim Varney. It was a national treasure right there. Kentucky boy.
John Cena will pick it up and run.
Sure, I don't hate that idea. If he Batista's up and just gets slender, we could probably make this work.
Yeah. But I mean, like, remember how everybody wanted The Miz to play Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat, and they couldn't fucking give us that one small thing?
That one thing, yeah.
One. He was born for it.
It was like a lateral move, too. Like, nobody was stepping down in that situation. Like, it was, okay, yeah, this makes sense.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just an even switch. But I do like watching Hocus Pocus. A few years ago, like, Chris and I painted this wooden sign. It was like just like a craft sign. It was like pumpkins. And we watched Hocus Pocus 2 while we did it. And that shit was so fucking relaxing. Just doing crafts and watching Hocus Pocus 2.
See, I just got the Lego set. And I started it, but I need to be sitting down watching the movie to finish it, because I've had no time. But
My mom loved that movie, dude, and we had the VHS of it, and she's the same way with Christmas Vacation at Christmas time. Like as soon as October hit, she had Hocus Pocus on every day. She cleaned the house to it or whatever, so like it makes me feel like I'm like
I do the
5 or
same
6
thing.
years old.
My kids are like, "Mom, you're gonna repeat it?" I repeat every line of the entire movie.
Wow.
I'm
special
obsessed.
movie for a lot of people.
Yeah, it is.
Also, like Corpse Bride is a really good Halloween watch to get you in the mood.
It is.
Casper also, like I enjoy stuff that it's not like full blown horror. It's kind of like more kind of in the middle horror, like between kids and family, and then just more extreme stuff. But you know, also Addams Family is a great Halloween watch.
I love those original Addams. Well,
Oh.
90s Addams Family movies. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like they're both really good in their own way. And, you know,
There are
Addams Family-
three. There are three. There are three.
Yeah, there's a direct to video one with Tim Curry playing Gomez, right?
Tim Curry and Daryl Hannah as Morticia. Yes.
I don't count
Dude,
that.
I love the fucking
Ian
sexual.
Angela Houston.
Or not, or I guess PDA because Morticia was into it, but he was just kissing all up her arms and shit, just constantly. Gomez is my hero, man.
But also Casper. That movie is still
The
fun.
90s Casper movie is great.
Yeah.
Like the Dan Aykroyd like Ghostbusters cameo.
That's actually canon, probably. Oh, really? Okay, so if anybody saw Frozen Empire, I think it was Frozen Empire, in like Raise a Cult, there's like a ball and a glove.
Oh.
That's the ball that's the thing
Casper.
from Casper.
Oh, that's kind of
So,
cool.
It's probably I think Ghostbusters fans do count that as canon.
Why not? Sam, I put it in the chat, but have you seen Over the Garden Wall?
I have not.
It's an animated, technically, I guess it's a mini series. I didn't think it was a mini series, but there's like a pumpkin cult in it. It's another interesting one. Tim Curry also does a voice in that.
Huh. Well, animation wise, like also Vampire Hunter D. I kind of prefer Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. I saw that in the theater when it came out. That one's a nice Halloween watch.
Okay.
I just remind everyone that you can't start this Halloween season unless you start listening to HalloweenRadio.net, which gives you 24 hours of Halloween music all year round. But is essential this time of year. There is an app that you can put on your phone, or you can just dial it up on any device. It is ungodly cool. They actually run a couple different stations. One of which is pop songs, one of which is just sounds of the season, which is like a modern version of all those great records, like Sounds of the Haunted House kind of thing.
Yeah, cassette tapes for me.
Yeah,
they're all cassettes.
Really cool stuff, and that's how you start getting the mood really on for the season. As far as film, I actually thought about this a lot because I know what everyone thinks I'm going to say, and I just wanted to be a little bit more surprising than that. But the two films I think that everyone should probably get on this year to get you really in the Halloween mood. 1964's Castle of Blood. It's a Barbara Steele programmer, but it is spooky as hell, and you're going to love it. And it's also violent as hell, but it's one of the best shot films you're ever going to see. It's just amazing.
It's beautiful. I have the sign poster over there. I love that movie.
And not a surprising one either, but William Castle's House on Haunted Hill.
Oh yeah, love it.
Surprise.
It's everything I want, and yeah, it has the cop out ending, but that's kind of the point, because Halloween kind of is a cop out in the most beautiful, wonderful way possible. Because we were all safe at the end of the night after we came home from trick or treating. You know, the goblins and ghosts and witches didn't get us, and it's kind of perfect. It's a beautiful film. Modernly, I'm going to tell you that if you have been sleeping the last few years on a film that I talked way too much about, Moloch, do that now. Folk horror and Halloween just go hand in hand really nicely. It's one of the best folk horror films ever made. It doesn't weigh you down with the psychological like something like Hereditary, which I think is a better film, but but doesn't get you those Halloween vibes because it's a little bit too heady in its thought for that.
Yeah.
So, as far as music goes, guys, seriously, turn on HalloweenRadio.net and just listen. You're going to hear all this great shit from the 30s, 40s, 50s that you've never heard before that is Halloween centric. It's really cool. And then you'll have like early rock songs and some modern stuff. Yeah, they'll play Cry Little Sister, but that's not what you're actually tuning in for. You're actually tuning in for those novelty tracks that were only pressed on like plexi discs that came free and with toys, and it's just all this really rare stuff that has everything to do with the holiday, and I love all of it.
What about the Addams Family rap? Is that on there?
I'm sure they play it.
It has to be. It has to be.
It's
whoop, there it is.
That's tag team.
Yeah. I will say, and Ben Grimm in the chat almost came up with something that I was considering. Actually, Blair Witch 2, I think, is a very Halloween feeling.
Oh, man, right.
More so than the original, which is kind of a, to me, is just scary anytime. But Blair Witch 2, just because of the obvious witchcraft angle, but a lot of the imagery, the snacking on an owl and all that kind of stuff, that all feels really Halloween to me.
Public opinion is changing on that movie.
It should.
For the better.
I love that movie.
I've always liked Blair Witch 2, man. I never understood the hate.
Yeah,
it wasn't what people were expecting. That happens a lot when people expect one thing and they get something else, and they won't judge it based on what it is, but what they want it to be.
Which is why Halloween Ends is going to be a classic in like 15 years.
I'll never know.
Ben brings up Seaside Horror. Another one I will throw out there, and it's got a couple titles, but it is from '99, I believe. Dead of Night, and it's also been released as Lighthouse.
I saw it in theaters as Lighthouse
with James Purefoy.
It's fucking great.
Yeah, the director Simon Hunter. This movie gets released at some point on Blu-ray. The fans are going to come out of the woodwork. It's a seaside slasher. I think everybody would love it. It's just they haven't seen it, and the DVD's way out of print. But you'll find it in the US, I think, under Dead of Night. But it's 99, director Simon Hunter. You want seaside horror, watch that movie. It's fucking awesome.
What the fuck? How did I miss this?
Oh, it's phenomenal. I own the soundtrack because the soundtrack's fucking amazing too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is that 77?
No. This is Simon Hunter's the director. 99. You'll IMDb may be under Lighthouse and not Dead of Night. Okay. Yeah, but Simon Hunter, James Purefoy, that's what you're looking for.
Sorry, I had to go.
It's always a better seaside horror than Witchery with Linda Blair. Like,
that's better than Witchery.
Yeah,
better than Witchery. Ugh.
Yeah, and it's a slasher too, so you would think it would be better known in the community, but it's
It
not.
is available on YouTube.
There you go.
Entirety.
You know, Linda Blair made 3 witch movies, and I called them the 3 Blair Witch Projects.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, Stone Gas Man.
Boom.
I don't know if any of us can come back from that.
Yes,
I do
drop
love-
that YouTube link for everybody. I hope they give that a shot and let us know what you think.
It's a great film. I do own the DVD. It came in a snap case.
Yeah, I have it too.
Yeah, I saw that film.
Oh my
in
god!
theaters, and holy shit, Jonathan, what are you doing?
That is one hell of a link there.
Hmm?
Ben, I hate the WNUF Halloween special because it's a fucking ripoff.
Hey, I was gonna bring that up in my what am I doing for Halloween? I like the idea of that.
Sure, and it's a better film called Ghost Watch.
I mean, I had fun with the last WNUF.
I don't mind it, but I've been just going on the Internet Archive and finding programming blocks from the 80s and 90s of Halloween centric programming blocks.
Oh, the commercials are so good.
I believe it's gone.
Yeah, it is.
They took it down, I think, a few days ago.
Oh,
they are. I think that they are still. They paused everything kind of.
Oh, what? The Internet Archive?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's
No.
a DDoS attack. I believe it was a DDoS attack anyway. So I think what's happening is they kind of like froze everything to prevent, further issues. But I'm not sure. I heard there was like a data breach of like 31 million people.
We have to protect that site at all costs. Like, that is so important to culture.
Yeah.
It is.
It's crazy.
I love the archive, but I also understand the other side of it. So they I don't know. It's a crazy thing. We have to protect rights holders, but we have to have things of cultural importance be available to everyone. I don't have the answers for that. I really don't. But hey, if you want to read The Lifeless for free and I without giving me a penny, it's on the Internet Archive. If it ever
Really?
comes back up.
So
Yeah.
funny.
Oh, it's there.
Buy it off Amazon right now.
Do it.
Buy my book.
Someone should.
Mr. Bombastic, you know, I've always respected your opinion more than the rest of the dumbasses on this ship, right?
I didn't know that, actually, Stone. Why?
I don't know. You just seem more relatable, more human.
Oh, okay.
I was wondering what you think my chances are.
Oh, that's easy. You have a 4.6 chance of surviving the alien threat.
No, I mean, of hooking up with the new girl.
That's uncomfortable, man. It's her first time aboard. Can't we just treat her like one of the guys?
Of course, yes, sure, certainly. But at least tell me this. Are the odds better than that of a streaming TV series being better than the movie that inspired it?
I'm not sure how to answer that. If better means stretched out, bloated, and filled with dead end subplots, then yes, your odds are good.
That makes me happy to hear. Say, you wouldn't happen to have more of that bottled water yet.
I want a Stone and Robot Jonathan buddy cop movie.
Oh, yes, please. I would like that too. How do we crowdfund that?
Needs to happen.
You just don't send me money, and I'll just do it.
We're intergalactic space cops.
So I like making clips that make everyone uncomfortable. Anyway, everyone's a good sport about it.
I can't.
All right, so streaming shows have taken over everything apparently, and including some of very well-known IPs, and even more are coming. Whether we're talking Alien or Halloween or whatever, it seems to be the graveyard where when IPs get old enough, they have to eventually become a streaming show. So what do you guys feel about the whole movement? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is there something you love in it? Is there something that was a train wreck and a half?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a graveyard for all franchises because, I mean, obviously, like the Child's Play franchise found like a lot of life there. Now that like it's been canceled, you know, we'll see if it goes back to, you know, movies again. But I don't think that it really like lost a lot of steam. I think it just added to kind of, I think it probably just added to the franchise in total. Although I didn't watch the whole thing. I've seen a few episodes.
Did you see season 3?
Was it that bad?
Yeah, it's fucking bad. It's really fucking bad.
Like, give me an example of something I would fucking hate.
Chucky launches a nuclear weapon.
That's kind of stupid, but I kind of like that. That's kind of hilarious.
It doesn't. A lot of it focuses just on a teen romance that I don't think anybody really cares about. There's a lot of reasons to dislike that show. Every few episodes they'll do something that entertains you, like there's a Bound reunion where everybody's playing themselves.
Oh yeah,
and it's like, that's kind of fun, but as a whole it's ass. And I'm sorry, I won't do too big a spoiler spend, but it's a shitty season 3 and it's not good.
What is it?
Chucky the series.
It's a shitty season 1 and 2.
It was a bad first episode. That's as far as I got.
Yeah. Lauren, you'd be miserable.
I haven't seen a lot of episodes, but I actually have a lot of respect for the old Friday the 13th series from the 80s that actually decided to not not do Jason or Camp Crystal Lake or all that, but just basically have different stories centered around an antique shop, apparently. I haven't seen it in forever. Do you think it's worth seeing all 3 seasons?
Yes.
First 2, definitely.
First 2, definitely. Yeah. Okay.
And 3's not bad. It's just not as good as 1 or 2. But as a whole, that show is fucking amazing. Okay. All of that, like, there's no Jason stuff, is ridiculous.
I've been cherry picking episodes for a while. I need to just sit through it.
I don't get. Everybody talks about Freddy's Nightmares, which is trash. Friday the 13th was amazing, and more people should go check that out. It's so good.
It does a thing that we don't do anymore, because the streaming shows have this very specific formula of how to keep you engaged. Like Friday the series, like the episodes actually had their own arcs that built up really, really, really to the needs of that episode. They're really, really well self-contained stories. They're really well constructed, and that's why you do get people who directed episodes like David Cronenberg. I mean, that's insane. So, and yet it was like a cheap syndicated series. It didn't have A-list stars. It didn't have all the things that you'd expect now to be pushing something with a IP name like that. It didn't have, and it all worked. And I think it's a good-looking show mostly. It looks like it's time period, but it's a good-looking show.
Yeah.
I love the Scarecrow episode. Always have.
Oh, there's so many classics. And again, as far as Halloween vibes, perfect to binge that one. One that I will throw out, because we wouldn't have so much that we have now without it, is, and it all began with a TV movie, Night Stalker. Which from writer Richard Matheson, and it had a sequel called The Night Strangler from director Dan Curtis, and also written by Richard Matheson. And that, of course, led to Kolchak, The Night Stalker, which was such an influential TV series. Even Chris Carter said there would be no X-Files without Kolchak. You know, we wouldn't have had Supernatural or a lot of these other shows that kind of took the template that this put out there. And I know there was supposed to be a third film called The Night Killers, which would have delved into sci-fi. It was going to take place with Kolchak in Honolulu, Hawaii, and he was being hired to investigate this UFO cover-up, and high-profile politicians, I believe, and whatnot being replaced by androids. One for Karen, I guess. But that they canceled that, and they just said, let's make it a TV show. And it is so far ahead of its time. These Kino Blu-rays are great. There's audio commentaries, I think, for every single episode. It's just stacked. And this is an important part of horror history. I don't know how it'll play for everybody out there, but again, Supernatural went, 15 seasons? X-Files, arguably the biggest show of the entire 90s. None of that. We would have none of it without Kolchak, and you guys should all check these out. Watch the 2 TV movies first if you can. They're really good. Some familiar faces like Al Lewis pop up, and
oh wow,
a lot of fun. So more Halloween recommendations as well.
When I was growing up, Kolchak was one of those things that was still being played on UHF stations at about 11 o'clock at night, usually on weeknights. So it had to be a situation where I didn't have school the next day, but it was always highlighted in those free versions of the TV guide that came in the newspaper, because if I had a chance, I was going to always check it out. And the funny thing is, like, it wasn't necessarily a Monster of the Week show, which is how we remember it. It wasn't like, oh, it's a mummy this week and a vampire next week. Sometimes he was just up against weird ass mysteries that didn't quite resolve. It's a little bit more thoughtful than I think people think. I've heard it described as like, Scooby-Doo for adults, and I don't think that's quite fair.
It's an interesting way of putting it.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't dissuade people from watching it though, so that's good. But
I watched a little bit of it growing up, but it was just the main like Kolchak the Night Stalker series.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
It's good shit. It's really, really good shit. I don't know. That does seem to be the big thing going forward. Now we're going to get all of these horror icons in TV series. I don't think it really works terribly well for everything, but I'll take it. You know, franchise by franchise. I really like the Creepshow TV series overall. I think I'm surprised some people have issues with it because I'd say 90% of the time they hit for me. You know, I mean, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, even if you don't like that show, I mean, look what that influenced. The humor in that series was, you know, look at any big Marvel movie. I mean, that's
Thanks, Joss Whedon.
There you go.
Thanks, Josh Whedon.
He had some other character flaws, but but he made an interesting show.
It was. I actually, because I mean, you know, I've had a blast like a few years ago watching the Hannibal TV series, especially season 3. Fucking car crash, wackadoo shit. Loved it. Hot mess all over. Bates Motel, pretty good. Enjoyed it overall. You know,
my personal favorite,
of course. And then just this past week, I binged both seasons of the Exorcist TV series that was on Fox.
Huh.
And I mean, like, I don't really understand why we bothered with a second season, which is funny because, like, John Cho is in that. And I was just thinking, man, John Cho is, like, in so many horror movies. We don't really give him enough credit, especially because he's in a lot of shit, too.
Afraid.
You know, it's kind of like, you know, he's like just a working actor, and it's like it's hit or miss, but he's always given a good performance. But the first season of that, right? Because I didn't know anything about it, and I was like, well, it's on Tubi. Let me just see what this is about. And I was like, is that Gina Davis? Was Gina Davis okay around this time? What happened? What? Why? That was just very startling. But it's like, especially because, you know, you find out about 5 episodes in that she's grown up Reagan McNeil, and I'm like, what is this? And then when Pazuzu gets to possess her, there's this fucking possessed Gina Davis running around and like Pazuzu's part of this conspiracy to assassinate the Pope, and I'm like, this is what I came here for. And then she killed her mother at one point because, like, Exorcist TV series, very similar to Exorcist Believer. Like, Chris McNeil, like, wrote this book and, like, you know, exploited her daughter, right? And it's like, she just turns this lady's head around 3 inches, like, right around. I was like, it was so funny. I laughed so hard.
It sounds 1,000 times better than Believer, though.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, yes, it absolutely, like, the first season of Exorcist TV series, yes, it outdoes Believer.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I mean, I'd recommend it.
Our vacation video is better than Believer, though. Anybody's vacation video.
Well, one series you won't recommend is I Know What You Did Last Summer.
No, I mean...
Did anybody watch that?
I did. I watched the whole thing.
Oh. Thank you for doing that, being the only one on the planet that watched it to let the rest of us know.
I have to have, like I work so many fucking hours. Like, you don't understand, like, how much shit I have to watch in the background. I've taken so many bullets for this goddamn cast. Like, I have watched so much shit. I know What You Did Last Summer is also a hot mess, though, but it kind of is just overly confusing for no reason. So.
Yeah, there's some you forget about like that, but Hannibal, that's some of the best horror TV out there. Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh, he's my
so
favorite.
Good. Watch some of his foreign films, Sam, like The Hunt. I mean, he has done some great stuff.
I was so skeptical about him.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Honestly, just go down his filmography. If it was something that he made outside the U.S., it's probably very good, if not excellent.
Oh, yeah.
Just anything but Indiana Jones and the Diaper of Destiny.
Yeah, I always feel I'm almost like let down when he's in an American movie at this point. I'm like, just you're good. I'm sure you got plenty of money. Just make the good stuff.
Yeah.
I don't watch television, so I really don't have a stake in this fight.
You did watch Creepshow, did you not?
I did. I
Okay.
did.
Well, there's something.
But it took me forever to get through all of it because I just. But that's different too, because it's just like individual stories. So if I don't get back to something in some time, I don't have to remember anything. Because basically the goldfish doesn't remember the little plastic castle.
There's the castle. Well, I mean, you may not know it since I'm holding onto a metal rail with one arm to avoid being sucked out by the vast, infinite vacuum of space, but we all have limits. While we may not think that there are things that shouldn't be shown in movies, nevertheless, we all find ourselves wondering where good taste goes out the window. I don't have that kind of upper body strength, but I definitely have that, like, lack of a neck.
Listen, everyone has a lack of a neck in these things because I have to hide the fact that I'm cobbling this together badly. So this segment is actually about inappropriate shit in movies that we absolutely love.
Okay, I'm excited because I'm going to be annoying again.
Yes, be annoying. Do it now.
I'm going to be annoying again because, again, I've saturated my poor brain with so much fucking Terrifier over the last few days. I laughed so fucking hard anytime Art the Clown shoots somebody, especially because it's like I usually just forget that he also has a gun, and then it's just out of nowhere and it pops me every time. Like it popped me in Terrifier 3. I know I shouldn't, but whatever.
You absolutely should.
Top of the list for me: turtle murder in Cannibal Holocaust.
You laugh at that?
No. That's the most appalling thing ever. In yeah, things that go too far. Is that what the topic is?
Yeah, but also kind of that we kind of love, but we shouldn't.
Yeah, like the cat in the cat dying in fire started.
That whole movie.
Awful. What was that, Dan?
Oh, I'll get to it. I'm going to traumatize a lot.
The Beast. That's not the Patrick Swayze show, The Beast. No. That's something else.
No, Swayze never went there.
So are you also going to cover The Beast in Space or what?
Oh, yeah, we can talk Beast in Space a little bit, but The Beast from 1975 and director Walerian Borowicz. This one is a film. I'm not going to go super deep into any of these.
I want to hear how you're going to do it at all.
Like rapid fire, but so this film in the teratophilia community. Do not Google it. Teratophilia.
I love it. I love that
community is a classic because this started the monster porn trend. Mm-hmm. Now, this is not a porn film as you're thinking of it, but it is. It does.
Is there penetration?
I'll let you Google
it.
Just Google it because I think it's funnier if you watch it. But there is monster cock. I'll tell you that much, and it's a quite interesting dream sequence. This movie, there is seriously communities out there that are into monster sex and monster erotica.
And there's out there that are like monsters.
This started it all. The Beast from 1975, and the very well respected director, by the way. This movie's well made.
Well, it's the combination of that and Tanya's Island. You put the two of those together, yeah.
Would The Shape of Water go in that category?
No, not really.
It's like fishophilia or something.
Yeah. Oh, okay. The Creature from the Blue Lagoon. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of important fisherman erotica out there.
Tanya's Island actually has Vanity, the drummer from Prince's band.
Really?
Seducing Bigfoot. So,
yeah. Lorne knows this probably, but you go to Amazon, there might be 1,000 fucking Bigfoot erotica books out there.
What?
It's huge. And I'm not making that number.
Also, Mothman. Mothman erotica is also
I'm telling you. No.
Yeah, no.
Well, you know what they
it's
say: if they have a big foot.
There you go. There you
So look at Sam's reaction.
I'm waiting. Once perihelion cycle.
Sorry, everyone. I have a
Lawrence
thoroughly
going.
average size foot.
Yeah.
Do you guys want a funny one since I kicked it off with teratophilia? So this nobody's gonna have this one. This is a very low budget and not good movie. It's called Deadly Detour: The Goatman Murders, from 2011, and director Mike O'Mahony, who I think I was in a movie with, but I never did a scene with. But this one, at the end of the movie, it's a stupid slasher. Nothing special about it. But at the very end of the movie, the killer is chasing our final girl onto a bus. And we learn that this bus is the Lil Wonders Camp for the Blind bus. And when he gets on this bus, he kills a lot of handicapped children in over-the-top Art the Clown type ways. Now, none of this is serious. I may make it sound brutal. This is stupid. Very stupid. There is one lady who's pregnant, and he does perform a Seth Rollins finishing maneuver, and the actress laughs through the whole scene. So, yes, there is. It goes there. It is so dumb. There's a pipe that gets shoved through this one person's mouth and out their ass. It's really stupid. But you know what? When I got to the end of this movie, I was like, okay, this is dumb, but I'll give you your flowers for doing that. And the last like 5 minutes of the movie, randomly, when these kids, not in the rest of it.
No.
So there's some funny trauma. Can't make all of them funny though. We talked animated movies before.
Plague Dogs.
Huh?
Plague Dogs.
Well, there's Plague Dolls, but there's also this one involves a dog where the dead go to die.
Oh, fuck that movie. Fuck that movie.
I know Jimmy Screamer Claus from my chiller days. Yeah, not the best animation, but I don't even think I can talk about this one, honestly.
You can't talk about it. You're going to end up on an FBI list for sure.
Yeah, I'll just say this one's really fucking awful, but Jimmy's nice. Doesn't make nice movies.
Jimmy, it's great. You should really get help.
He probably should get help. Let's see. Some others that maybe nobody talks about. One. Now, this is not a gore film. It's not a horror film. Trouble with Being Born from 1920 and director Sandra Wollner. Now, it's about a young android. This is another one I really can't talk about. It's a good movie. The controversial side of it is shocking and rough. I'll just say there's a maintenance scene in the movie and a reveal that's, it's going to kind of ruin your night. But this one, as far as I'm aware, has not had a physical media release. I don't even know if it's on VOD in the US. It might be. But if you want feel bad science fiction, holy fucking shit, it's rough. But I'll throw that out there. And if I haven't traumatized you enough, there's also, I'm out of horror here, but there's a 2021 film from director Fran Kranz called Mass. Now, this is a drama. This is about two couples. The whole movie is just a conversation. And Jason Isaacs and Martha Plimpton and Ann Dowd from Hereditary and Reed Birney. And they're both the parents of, one set of parents are of a school shooter and the other, the victim of the school shooter. The whole movie is just a conversation in a room. And it is so fucking powerful and draining. I don't know. I don't think it got any real Oscar consideration, which is insane, but really good. Excellent film. Rapid fire, last couple. 964 Pinocchio, a 1991 Asian cyberpunk horror film from director Shozan Fuki. Might be saying his name wrong, but this is about a cyborg sex slave that gets discarded due to his inability to get an erection. and he ends up befriending this homeless
God
girl.
damn it, Dan.
He befriends this homeless girl who has memory issues, and at one point in the movie's most shocking scene, eats her own vomit. And it's hard. There's something about it. If you've seen Tetsuo, like it worse, but there's just something really disturbing about it. You may or may not want to take that ride, but there you go.
Sounds exactly like Spielberg's AI to me.
There you go. I don't remember Haley Joel eating his own puke, but
Yeah, but isn't the rest of it pretty much exactly that?
pretty much, yeah, I see that. Another, you know what? I'll throw out another one. Come and See from 1985. Russian, yes, Soviet war movie. That'll
destroy you.
It will destroy you. It will fucking wreck you. It's a great film. But yeah, once you get all the nice Halloween feelings out, you get to November and you just want to feel like shit. Maybe you'll watch some of these movies that I'm recommending.
I love misery porn. We need more.
We need more misery porn. What else do I have to traumatize you guys? There is one called Heaven Knows What. Everybody knows the Safdie brothers for other films, but this one is based on a memoir of the lead actress Arielle Holmes called, I believe it's called Mad Love in New York City. And they discovered her just on the streets. She had just she was just coming out of a really serious heroin addiction. And that's kind of what this movie's about. I love the Safdie brothers films, but Heaven Knows What is the one that kind of gets overlooked. And it's really gritty, raw, real. I love it. So there's another, and I'll just close on one that I think people actually do know about. Megan is Missing. It's an extreme horror movie, but not in the way that certainly, Terrifier or a Serbian film or some of these other things that we've mentioned tonight. The barrel scene at the end, which was so effective that it was TikTok, I believe. Everybody thought it was real. That movie, I think, hits pretty hard because it's kind of realistic. And the last, 15 minutes, it feels longer than that, but is rough. Like really rough. Not a gore film, just awful. And one that, be careful online. Just put it that way. It's an important message. So there, some things to ruin your post Halloween season.
Okay, I'll bring this up a notch in the happy meter. 1981's Madhouse. When we were originally when Sam pitched this topic, kind of, because I think it's got a little bit polluted since it originally came. Part of it was like animal deaths that we find funny.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen Madhouse, the whole film, there's this fucking dog, and it's a real dog. Okay, it's like they just filmed a dog, and it's a minor character, but at the end of the film, the dog is trying to eat the main actress, and it's breaking through a door like Jack Nicholson in The Shining. So this dog is eating a door, which is hilarious to begin with, and it's growling and is upset. But when it pops through the door like Jack Nicholson, the filmmakers replace it with a very, very, very bad puppet of said dog. And the actress then proceeds to stab it in the head many, many, many times. And incredibly fake blood is spurting out, and the dog's going, ah! It is the most amazingly badly shot sequence ever. It's like they handed over the production of this grimy horror film to the kids' television workshop. It is amazingly bad. It's funny as hell. It destroys everything that came before it, but it makes the movie. Because the movie up to that point is kind of lame. That scene, that puppet dog, completely saves the movie. On the other hand, if you haven't seen The Wild Beasts, basically everything in that movie qualifies from this. The Wild Beasts is a really really fucked up film. It's about PCP accidentally getting into the water supply at the zoo. And so all the animals are tripping balls and they all escape and go out and eat the population of an unnamed European city, which is, Hamburg, because all the signs say it's Hamburg, but they never, they intentionally try and say it could be, maybe it's London. I don't know. There's a scene where a sports car has to outgun a cheetah. So it's a race on a street.
Yeah.
There's two lovers that are making out in a car when a gang of rats decides to fill the car and eat them. There is a cat, again, portrayed as a real cat until it's a puppet, that gets eaten by said rats. But then the rats get their comeuppance when a team of SWAT agents with fucking flamethrowers show up because every city has them. And they set the rats on fire. But the thing is, the rats don't get the puppet treatment. They just set rats on fire for the movie.
Oh
shit.
Babies.
Yeah, it is brutal. And I'll just say that, like, by the end of this film, there is a scene where an elephant bursts through a wall without being introduced earlier in the film at all to attack the survivors.
What?
It's amazing.
An elephant.
And a fucking pachyderm. Wild Beasts is exactly what's sold on the tin can. The film also had, I will tell you, in the beginning of
They
this
give
film,
you everything.
this was made by the people who made Mondo, the Mondo movies, Prosperity and July, I believe. But they, this is a movie that literally, in an open sequence, uses real footage of a tiger having a seizure. You've never seen anything.
I shouldn't
like
laugh
Beasts.
at this, but yeah.
But I am too. Wild Beasts is a completely inappropriate film that, as you're watching it, you're going to wonder how legal the whole process of watching it is. And it's commonly available everywhere. So you don't have to go to some back alley movie dealer for this. You can pretty much bring it up on Tubi.
Oh, yeah, you can get it on Blu-ray too if you want.
Oh,
yeah.
I might have it on Blu-ray.
I just found that scene with the dog in Madhouse. It's actually a power drill, which makes it funnier.
Yeah.
Don't Google my stuff, Sam. Like...
Not while we're on the air, anyway.
I know, right?
There's another 1981 movie I'd like to throw in next to Madhouse, and that's a little movie called Roar. From the producer of The Exorcist, who was married to Tippi Hedren. Yeah, and over the course of 8 years, they made a movie with about 300 lions, tigers, elephants on this reserve.
There's an elephant there too.
Yes, there is an elephant there too. Tippi Hedren broke her leg being lifted up by the elephant. Basically, there were so many on-set injuries. The director of photography was Jan de Bont, who later shot Speed and Twister and The Haunting, the remake. And he had like 50-some stitches in his head because of being mauled by the lions. And Melanie Griffith's head was scalped. Yeah, everybody was seriously hurt on this movie. And of course, from what I understand, Tippi's husband, who produced The Exorcist, was also kind of an abuser of sorts. That movie is wrong in 1,000 different ways.
I love it.
Because
it's to do that.
I know, it's insanity. It's absolute insanity to watch. It's just maybe no animals got killed, but oh my god, that film shouldn't have been made.
No.
You have to understand, if you've not seen Roar, there's just a house that's filled with fucking lions and tigers.
Yes.
The actors are just walking through the house. There's no green screens. There's no partitions. They're just walking among the great cats.
Oh, yeah.
They sleep with the cats.
And every once in a while, the cats will just decide, I'm going to knock that person down because I can.
You see them eat zebra heads in the house.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like, it's crazy.
I love Roar.
Simba, can you do that elsewhere, please? I'm trying to eat breakfast.
The lion sleeps tonight.
But yeah, the elephant picks Tippy Hedren up by the leg and shakes her, and apparently breaks her leg on, then throws her. At the, next,
breaks her leg on screen.
Yes.
It's a movie that, like, you tell people about that if they haven't seen it, it's like you're lying. You're just fucking with me right now.
It doesn't exist. No, it exists.
It exists.
It exists.
Yeah. Like, I remember it's like, what
my life is not so different than Roar.
There you go. You're just lucky he's not bigger.
Oh yeah.
Pick you up, break your leg, give no fucks about it.
I figured Roar would be a perfect one for this topic. Yeah.
I love Roar so much.
Yeah, Roar needs to be experienced if you guys out there haven't. It is also on Blu-ray. That one might be getting out of print though.
I think it is.
Yeah, but I think you can still get it. So
you should get it now. Yeah. You will not regret it. Any horror fan that does not own Roar, you will not regret that purchase.
No, it's that's another rough one. But God, we got monster porn. Just animals, just fucking people up for real. All sorts of downer shit.
And Rats on Fire.
Rats on Hunchback of the Morgue, Paul Naschy flick has that issue too. Good movie, but yeah.
What do the ladies have on for this topic?
Yes.
What
will traumatize us?
As far as like funny things?
Well, it can be funny or
really
not.
Fucked up shit.
Come and See is not funny. Like there's no yuck.
No. Oh, that's serious.
You know what I wanted to add? A film that everyone knows, but everyone forgets exists. A Boy and His Dog.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Directed by L.Q. Jones and starring Don Johnson. Yeah.
There's so much that's not okay in that movie.
It's a futuristic satire.
Yeah, it's Mad Max, but like with all the bad feels that would really come in that world.
Yeah.
And a telepathic speaking dog.
Yes, that's right. He talked to his dog. I haven't seen it in 20 years, but it's
And do you remember what his dog does? His dog helps him find women for not good reasons.
Oh, that's right.
And this is our hero.
You won't see him do that on Nash Bridges.
I tend not to watch that much fucked up stuff. Like, Terrifier is kind of the most extreme thing I'm going to watch, but I don't know.
Devil's Experiment, Sam. Make it happen.
Oh my God.
Man. I mean, I know that I've watched some fucked up anime, but it all escapes me now. Maybe Ninja Scroll. Maybe Blue Seed, but that's still kind of tame.
Oh, Salo.
I'm not watching that.
Salo, 120 Days of Sodom.
I haven't seen it yet. I know I should, though.
Should you? Is it a must-see for everyone?
It pairs well with the 1970 film Jonathan. They're both anti-fascist horror films.
Get a chocolate frosty and sit down and experience it.
Well, of course, Lorne and I did a commentary for The Devils. And I wasn't shocked by anything in that movie. I mean, like, I'm sorry, a bunch of nuns wanting to lick Jesus's scrotum, it just doesn't have much effect on me. Really. That's the rape of the rape of the Christ.
What the hell?
It was distributed by Warner Brothers in 1971
in severely truncated form.
Yes.
I would say watch that movie. Like,
yes,
that's a great.
Course.
Yeah, that's a great movie. I don't think it'll wreck you. It is shocking.
No.
Yeah, a bunch of nuns tear a statue of Christ off the wall and they try to go after its genitalia.
Yes.
They're doing other things.
I thought it was hilarious, to be honest.
It's funny. The new movie Crazy House basically goes there too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not nearly as good a film. I mean, not nearly as good a film.
It's on my Wednesday review list, so I got to get to it.
Yeah. It's the kind of film that you're gonna want to like, but it's just not all there.
Nick Frost, I mean, kind of sells me. He's got another movie actually coming out, a horror comedy. The name's escaping me at the moment, but he and the family go to a retreat in, I want to say Sweden, but I'm not sure. And
why would you do that?
They essentially end up in the movie Midsummer, but it's a horror comedy and it actually looks really funny. That and Rumors, which is about the G6 summit that gets taken over. I don't know if they're demons or zombies or what's going on, but Kate Blanchett's in that.
What?
Charles Dance. It's an insane cast.
Huh.
Both of those are some horror comedies I'm very much looking forward to give you something to laugh about, since we've got like horny nuns and rampaging critters and all this awful stuff.
Oh yeah.
Jess, you got to throw something out there.
Disturb us, Jess.
Other than the fact that I don't have a cat, so I have a Stitch.
That's okay. It counts.
A stitch in time.
Does he commit atrocities?
Sometimes.
There you go.
Everyday occurrence here.
Cats are sadists, you know.
Well,
so you
they
all
are.
I call mine my little parade of terror because they follow me from room to room.
Can't shut a door with the cat. Like, that's like the funniest thing. They can be sound asleep on the couch and you just go in another room and it's just like straight to the door to fuck it up until you open it.
May I throw out there, since we're almost done for tonight, but let me just throw out there that I saw the #1 movie of the year a few weeks ago called The Substance, starring Demi Moore, Margaret Qualley, and Dennis Quaid. It is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And I will never... Oh, you've seen it now?
I watched it this morning and I tried watching other things after it and nothing hit right. Nothing could like it's the #1 movie for me too right now.
The Substance is the movie of the year. I mean, Robert Eggers may pull it off.
Yeah, that's possible.
He may pull it off. And also, Heretic with Hugh Grant. The reviews have been stellar. 93% approval, Rotten Tomatoes score, and it's already generating buzz.
I've heard it's more than you think, is all I've heard.
Really?
I don't take my movie recommendations from vegetables, so.
Rude.
You know who was going to be in the Dennis Quaid role? It was going to be Ray Liotta, but obviously he passed away.
He would have been good in that role too.
He would have, different, but good. He would have been really good.
His last movie ended up being Cocaine Bear, and it was dedicated to him.
It wasn't the last one that came out, but yeah, he was in 1992 also. We've gotten a few. I think they're all out now, unfortunately. So no more Ray Liotta, but no, Substance is so good. And my God, towards the end, if you like body horror and nasty effects, it's there for you. I mean, the movie's more than just that, but it's
it's an excellent critique of not just Hollywood, but also just how we look at aging.
That Sam, that Pump It Up musical number.
Pump
it up, pump it up. I'll never look at an exercise video the same way ever again.
Yeah, that's fair. It was just fucking like nightmare fuel.
It is literally nightmare fuel.
And I mean, like, I do like the way it's, it's shot very like Kubrickian, like The Shining. Lots of Shining homages in there.
Yes.
And that was an interesting choice, but I think it works.
Yeah. Dennis Quaid eating crawfish is one of the grosser things.
That's going too far in cinema right there. Is Dennis Quaid in close-up eating fish?
Ben
is more disgusting than any Terrifier murder.
It is pretty gross. And pissing and not washing his hands.
Yeah, it's interesting too. It's like fairly self-contained. Like, so much of that movie takes place in her apartment.
Yes.
You know, the only other
Yeah.
times is like when she's actually doing the workout video, when she's
Mm.
shooting. But there's really not much else. But woo! That final shot.
What a ride.
Very poetic.
What a ride. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ben mentions 10% ass shots. They brought in a separate person to direct that, right, Ben? If I understand right. Yeah, there's not a lot of like sex in the movie, but there is a lot of nudity, a lot of just being naked. And I believe they brought somebody in. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a part where Demi Moore is standing naked at the, in front of the mirror. And it's very, it's like, it's not played for the male gaze, even though she's pretty much completely naked,
Yeah.
Although it's interesting because, like, a lot of the shots are very male gazy, but that's literally the point. So I can't really get mad about it. So
the movie is attacking Hollywood's insane beauty standards.
It's not even just that, though. It's also about like trying to prevent aging, and also, you have to be at peace with how your body is deteriorating.
Right.
Like, you can't keep fighting that. You do have to, like, you have to balance. You have to find that peace within yourself.
That's easy for all of you younger people to say.
Look, I'm trying. I can't age any faster.
Well, I'm not going to do it.
Dan's the baby on this panel right now. Is he? Wait, Jessica, how old are you?
I think Jessica's the youngest.
Yeah.
Wow. No.
Are you and Dan the same age?
No, Jessica, I think you're probably younger than me. I'm 38, and I look old because the gray.
I thought you were 36. Okay, my bad.
38.
38
shots.
It's the beard. I'm not lying.
Because I'm 40, and I know Stone's 45.
And I'm 106.
You're immortal.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm the youngest.
Of all things, I'm not immortal.
Okay,
we need you in the Nosferatu opening for season 5, Lauren. You need the 2 dogs. We need to make that happen. We need that to happen.
We should do like a Robert Eggers opening with like things from Northman and Lodge. No, not Lodge, but Lighthouse and The Witch.
I was going to say Lighthouse might be kind of a fun one.
Yeah.
Might be giving you a lot of green screen work there, but...
What's new? On that note,
The cold earth slept below. Above, the cold sky shone, and all around was a chilling sound.
From caves of ice and fields of snow, and the breath of night like death did flow beneath the sinking moon.
The wintry hedge was black. The green grass was not seen. The birds did rest.
On the bare thorn's breast, whose roots beside the pathway track had bound their folds over many a crack, which the frost had made between.
Man's eyes glowed in the glare of the moon's dying light, as a fen fire's beam.
On a sluggish stream, gleams dimly so the moon shone there, and it yellows the strings of thy tangled hair.
That shook in the wind of night. The moon made thy lips pale, beloved. The wind made thy bosom chill.
The night did shed on thy dear head its frozen dew, and thou didst lie
where the bitter breath of the naked sky might visit thee at will.
Have a amazing Halloween season, people. We're out of here.
Later, guys.
Internal log 0613-2024. The ship is a twisted mass of wreckage on the surface of an unmapped moon outside the boundaries of any charted system. The crew are dead. With any luck, this transmission will be picked up by the YouTube algorithm, and notifications will be sent, but who knows? This is Customer Service Specialist Sam, last survivor of the commercial data mining ship Imperium. Signing off. Good night.
The Visited by Voices Network is a consortium of content creators who explore genre art. Our collective aim is to jumpstart conversations in the horror community by providing unique viewpoints. We come to film and books with all the baggage and experiences from our everyday lives, and this allows us to see works through our own independent light prisms. At VBV Network, we reject groupthink, consensus, and social standards in regards to what makes narrative arts work. You may not often agree with us, but there'll always be a respectful place for you to add your opinion to the mix.
Shoot that from down, comes that